Good evening, everybody. So, as you all know, I have been writing Friends fan fiction for the past, March, April, May, June, for the past 4 months. And finally, I am wrapping up my series of stories with one that is about Ben and Trevor's wedding. But the story that leads into that is the one with Emma's coming out, which is the one where Emma comes out as bisexual. So I am going to read that story first because the plot of that story ties into the story of Trevor and Ben's wedding. So this story, the one with Emma's coming out, works as a standalone story, but also works as an epilogue to the story that fits into the family dynamic of Gunther, Rachel, and Emma. So this is set obviously after Friends in present day. And by this time, to fit in canonicity of real life events, Gunther passes away from pancreatic cancer to represent the death of James Michael Tyler, who died in October of 2021. James Michael Tyler was the author who was the actor who played Gunther on Friends, and he is greatly missed because he was one of my favorite supporting characters on Friends, besides Phoebe's husband, Mike. So, let's begin. The one with Emma's coming out. Emma Gellar Green stared out at the river from her hotel room's balcony. She was still in awe that she was in Paris and couldn't be happier with the amazing vacation that her aunt and uncle had taken her on. For the past 48 hours, she was fighting with how to continue to keep her secret from her father, Ross, about her sexuality. This Father's Day was a more melancholy one than the past years had been since her mother's marriage to Gunther. Her aunt Monica appeared in the doorway. "Good morning, Emma. You're up early today." "Yeah, I know. I couldn't sleep," she whispered. Monica looked at her niece worriedly. She gently put her hand on Emma's shoulder. "Honey, are you okay?" "No, I've been feeling pretty shitty lately, Auntie Monica." "You can tell me anything, you know. I hate to see that you are hurting. It's just that today is Father's Day, and I really miss Gunther. Your mom feels the same way. I know how special that he was to both of you." Emma collapsed into her aunt's arms and started to cry. "My darling girl, it's all right. Auntie Monica's here." Monica whispered and rubbed Emma's back, rocking her back and forth. They sat this way for 20 minutes. "Is anything else on your mind?" Emma nodded. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" Fresh tears came to the edges of Emma's eyes. "I'm bisexual," she whispered. Monica's heart broke. "And you're afraid to tell your father, aren't you?" Emma nodded. "Oh, my sweet Emma, I wish that I could take your pain away and that your father is not such a bastard." "What should I do, Auntie Monica? I just restarted my relationship with him and I don't want to lose it all over again. Keeping this secret is making me feel so miserable." Monica sighed. When we get home later this week, we can go talk to him. How about that?" Emma nodded. "Okay. Uncle Chandler and I will always love you no matter what, and you have so many other people who love you too." Monica kissed Emma's forehead gently. "I love you too, Auntie Monica," Emma whispered. Chandler, Monica, and Emma arrived home from Paris late afternoon on Friday. Rachel met them at the airport. "Hi, honey, how was your trip?" Rachel embraced her daughter. "Amazing. Definitely the best vacation I've ever had." Monica sent Rachel a glance. "Is something wrong?" Rachel asked. Emma nodded. "I'm bisexual, Mom. I told Auntie Monica that I am afraid to tell Daddy about my sexuality a few days ago." Rachel's muscles tensed. "Honey, I hate knowing that you are in pain. I have a bad gut feeling he will have a similar reaction than he did when he found out that Ben was gay." Do you think we should go back to family therapy once I tell him? Chandler shrugged. He started to go to therapy again after Ben moved in with us in February 2014. I haven't heard any recent updates on improving his relationship with Ben. Overall, this process of going to therapy has been a long process for your dad, Em, and he has a lot of other things to work through before dealing with Ben's sexuality. Rachel sighed and rolled her eyes. Let's just say that Ben finally confronted Ross at counseling about being disowned. Chandler let out a whistle. Could that be any more awkward? What happened, Rachel? Monica asked. Carol called me earlier this week. Let's just say that Ben and Ross finally had the talk they should have had a long time ago, and it was pretty awful. He screamed at Ross for 10 minutes and then stormed out of Dr. Weinberg's office. There's a lot of hurt and resentment in Ben's court emotions for sure, Mon. Monica's heart fell to the pit of her stomach. My poor baby, she whispered. Chandler rubbed Monica's back reassuringly. Everything is going to be okay, honey, I promise. Emma sent Ross a text message. Daddy, can Auntie Monica and I come over tomorrow? We have something that we need to talk to you about. It didn't take too long for Ross to respond. Sure, honey, come over at lunchtime. I'll cook some burgers on the grill. Can't wait to hear all about your trip. Here goes nothing, Emma whispered. Monica hugged her niece tightly. We'll get through this, sweetheart, I promise. The next day, Monica picked Emma up at 11:15 a.m. Ross lived on the NYU campus. His staff housing had a first-floor apartment with courtyard for barbecuing. Ross smiled when he answered the door. Welcome home. Come in. I can't wait to hear about your trip. After glancing at his sister and daughter, he noticed that they were not smiling. You didn't have a good trip, he asked. Monica shook her head. Oh no, we absolutely did have an amazing time. What's the matter then? Monica sighed. I have a question for you, Ross. What is it? What causes you to be so homophobic? Ross's muscles tensed. I wish you guys would stop saying that. I'm not homophobic. Dad always said that I should have played with more masculine toys. He was so judgmental of me because I play with dinosaur toys. Monica rolled her eyes. Grow up and get over yourself, Ross. Everybody is so sick of how immature you can act sometimes. Act like you are 38 and not like you are 7. Ross. Sorry. My throat's a little scratchy today. Ross shot an uncomfortable look at his daughter. What's going on? Why are you all of a sudden asking me about why I am homophobic, Monica, he asked. Monica cleared her throat. Emma told me something on our vacation that she admitted she has been afraid to tell you. Keeping the secret has been making her miserable, and Rachel and I hate seeing how much she is hurting. And what was that? Ross asked. I'm bisexual, Daddy, excuse me. I'm bisexual. I've been afraid to tell you, especially after how you treated Ben so badly. He doesn't want to have anything to do with you because of how you disowned him. Ross was silent. Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Ross? Monica asked. Are you afraid I'm going to disown you too, Emma? Ross whispered. Ross had tears in her eyes. Yes, was all that she could reply. Monica rubbed her back. What turned you into such an asshole, Ross? We all have such a hard time understanding that, Monica asked. Is that what you all think of me? Ross asked. Monica nodded. What you did to Ben was horrible. I tried to get you to understand that back last fall after family therapy, but you are unable to put your own ego aside for 2 seconds. Ross's muscles were tensed up. He still did not reply. What you did to Ben was so mean, Daddy. I thought parents were supposed to love their children no matter what. I guess that I was wrong, Emma said. She then buried her head into Monica's shoulder. Ross, I will always love you, but I will never forgive you for what you did to Ben. Nobody is going to forgive you. You have really fucked things up. Monica rubbed Emma's back and kissed her forehead. Ross knelt down next to his daughter. My sweet girl, he whispered. Emma turned her tear-stained face towards her father's. I didn't realize how much the fact that I disowned Ben upset you. Can you forgive me? I'm not sure I can, Daddy, because I am still afraid that you're going to disown me too. Ben. Ross kissed his daughter's forehead. I'm so sorry for hurting you, honey. Do you mean that? Emma whispered. Of course I do, Emma. Did you disown Ben because you were mad with Carol and Susan about the custody agreement, or were you really mad about his sexuality? Emma asked. Ross's jaw dropped. Well, Ross, what do you have to say for yourself? Monica asked. Ross gulped. Yes, to be honest, it was a mix of both things. Even further proof that you're an asshole. This is why everybody else resents you. Monica hissed. Are you going to change your mind about disowning Ben, Daddy? Emma asked. I don't know. It seems like Carol and Susan have their minds made up about Ben living with Uncle Chandler and Auntie Monica. Monica sighed. Rachel told us when she picked up Emma at the airport that your joint appointment with Ben did not go well. Ross nodded. He is still very angry at me, Monica. Can you fucking blame him, Ross? I think it will take him a long time to rebuild your relationship with him. He has felt like you don't love him for a long time. I do love him, though. He doesn't trust you, Ross, and quite frankly, neither do the rest of us. I don't think things are at a good place right now for you to renegotiate the child custody agreement with Carol and Susan. There were 10 minutes of silence. Ross cleared his throat. How have the living arrangements gone the past couple of years with Ben living with you and Chandler, Monica? Happy for a change of subject, even though it was a small one, Monica smiled. It has gone pretty well. At first I think he had a difficult transition, but I don't think he's ever been happier. He told me before we left for Paris that he and Trevor are having a commitment ceremony in the fall, and that they are planning to adopt. Emma looked at her aunt in shock and surprise. How come you didn't tell me this while we were on vacation, Auntie Monica? Monica rubbed Emma's shoulder. I wanted to surprise you, sweetheart. I got a voicemail from Ben, and he said that the adoption went through. They would be adopting twin girls in January from a birth mother who lives in Ohio. Ross's eyes grew misty. Is this the same adoption agency you and Chan adopted Jack and Erica from, Mon? Monica was quiet for a few minutes. You know what? I didn't even consider that. You are probably right, Ross. A smile spread across Emma's face. This is great news. I can't wait to be an aunt. Ross smiled at his sister. I say you've learned for the best. Mon, have you and Chan considered adopting Ben? Monica looked at her brother in shock. What are you talking about, Ross? Ross let out a sigh. I think we can all agree that there is too much damage in my relationship with Ben that cannot be repaired. I couldn't be happier for Ben and Trevor, but I don't think that I feel comfortable being part of their journey of raising children. Tears were at the edges of Monica's eyes. Ben and I have definitely grown a lot closer in the past couple of years. This means a lot to me. Thank you, Ross. Ross kissed his sister's forehead softly. I love you so much, Monica. Thank you for always being there for me over the years. I'm so glad that we have grown closer as we've grown up. So do I. I love you too, Ross, Monica whispered. Would it mean a lot to you if we went to family therapy together, just the two of us? Ross asked his daughter. Fresh tears filled Emma's eyes. Yes, Daddy, it really would. All of these years, Mom and I were in Paris by ourselves, and you never came to visit, and I always felt neglected and that you hated me. Ross had tears in his eyes. Oh, sweetheart, I never realized that you have been hurting for this long. That just isn't true. I have always loved you. I feel so horrible that you have thought otherwise. When do you want to start going to therapy with me, Daddy? Emma asked. Ross's eyes met Emma's. How about I give Dr. Weinberg a call? What day works better for your appointments? Well, I work at the boutique with Mom every day from 9 to 2 now that school is out. I can do appointments for counseling after work, probably at like 4:15 or something like that. Ross smiled. Sounds great, honey. How about we have some lunch. Ross pulled Monica and Emma into a hug. I love you both very much. Never forget that, okay? We love you too, Ross, Monica whispered. As the embrace with Ross broke apart, Emma leaned in against Monica's chest. Thanks for all your help, Auntie Monica. I couldn't have done this without you. Monica's arms enveloped around her niece, and she gently kissed her forehead. You're welcome, honey. You and your mother will always be my best friends. We've always got your back. Never forget that, all right? All Emma could do was nod her head. She felt so safe in her aunt's embrace. I love you so much, Emma, Monica whispered. Emma kissed her aunt's cheek gently. I love you too, Auntie Monica. And I just wanted to point out that the reason why I'm sharing these is because Courteney Cox's birthday is tomorrow. And tomorrow I will be very busy, so I will not be online very much at all throughout the day. I have lots of things to do that do not require me being on the internet. So here's the chapter that I'm working on. It's still being edited by my fanfiction beta reader. But here's what I have. The one with Ben's wedding. And as I said, this story pretty much wraps up the series of Friends fanfictions that I have been writing. It is set in the current time, as in 2022, 2023. And I saw a post on Instagram yesterday that thoroughly states the ages of the kids of the friends. So I will state those right now for people who are curious. This states that Ben is 26, Emma is 21, Jack and Erica are 19, and the triplets that Phoebe is a surrogate to, Frank Jr., Chandler, and Leslie, are all 23. Once they arrived home from Paris, things in the Bing household were in chaos as preparations for Ben and Trevor's commitment ceremony were in full force. Monica's heart was full of joy that Ben had found someone that made him so happy and loved Trevor from the first minute that she had met him at Thanksgiving 7 years before. Her heart was even fuller with the knowledge that Ross had told her that she and Chandler could adopt Ben, and could not wait to tell him the wonderful news. One August day, an Ohio phone number came up on the caller ID of Monica's cell phone. She figured it was the adoption clinic since Ben had given them her phone number as an emergency contact. Hello, this is Monica Gellar. Monica, this is Erica. Monica hadn't expected to hear from the birthmother of Erica and Jack. What a pleasant surprise. How are you? I'm great. Is one of your relatives adopting from the same clinic that you adopted Jack and Erica from? I noticed that you were listed as an emergency contact on the paperwork. Monica's heart skipped a beat. Yes, that's my nephew and his husband. He's getting married on September 16th. Why do you ask? There was silence on the other end of the line. Erica, are you there? Erica cleared her throat. I'm calling you, Monica, because my niece is the mother of the baby that your nephew and his husband are going to be adopting from. Would you like to stay with us when they come to adopt the babies? Monica started to cry. Oh, Erica, I am so glad that you called. Yes, that would be great. You'll finally get the chance to meet Jack and Erica, too. They'll be excited to meet you after all of these years. Erica's smile danced across the phone line. I can't wait to meet them either. It will be so great to see you and Chandler again. And meet your nephew and his husband. When will you be coming out to Ohio? We're not exactly sure of the date yet. Probably sometime in early to mid-November. We'll have an early Thanksgiving celebration. How about that? We certainly have a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. Most definitely looking forward to it. So are we. Thank you so much for calling, Erica. You're welcome. See you in a few months, Monica. Monica disconnected the call and entered the house from the porch through the screen door. She swiped 2 tissues from the box on the end table next to the couch and gently dabbed at her eyes. At that moment, Chandler walked into the room. He was shocked to see his wife crying. "Sweetheart, what's the matter? Who is on the phone?" "That was Erica," she whispered. "What on earth did she say? And why are you so upset?" "These are happy tears. Erica's niece is the birth mother for Ben and Trevor's babies. You can't be serious." "I absolutely am." Chandler kissed his wife's lips passionately. "I am so happy to hear this news. So am I. Erica suggested we should have a family reunion when Ben and Trevor go out to Ohio to adopt the babies." Before I go on, I just wanted to remind people that Erica was played by Anna Faris on Friends, who later went on to be on Mom, I think the show was, which had Allison Janney on it too. So I thought it would be kind of cool to connect Erica back to Chandler and Monica in the story, and that's why I decided to do that. So I hope that in the event, which is unlikely, that Matthew Perry and Courteney Cox watch my video, I hope they'll appreciate how I connected this fan fiction story to the original series of Friends. Now to continue. Chandler all of a sudden grew hesitant. "Mon, don't you think that we should tell Erica and Jack that they were adopted before that they meet their birth mother? We probably should have told them this a long time ago." Monica nodded her head slowly. "I think we need to have a family meeting about this adoption and let Ben know. We all will be going out with Ohio. We will all be going out to Ohio, staying at Erica's house." "Since when are we going to her house?" "She invited us for Thanksgiving, Chandler." Chandler smiled. "Awesome. I can't wait to see Erica again. It's been 19 years since we adopted Jack and Erica." Monica's jaw dropped. "I can't even believe that." "Neither can I. Doesn't it seem like things are happening too fast for us?" Monica smiled. "That's for sure. I couldn't be happier or more blessed. On top of that, we are also adopting Ben, who has felt like a son to us the moment he moved in with us 7 years ago." Chandler sat down on the couch and patted a seat next to him. "Come here," he whispered. Monica sat down and felt her husband's arms envelope around her, an embrace that she had always felt safe in. Gently, she laid her head down on his chest and exhaled with his heartbeat. She then felt Chandler's lips meet hers in a passionate kiss. "I love you forever, baby girl," he whispered. 22 years married this May, and I would absolutely never change a thing. "I love you too, Chandler, more than you will ever know." Monica shut her eyes and fell asleep. After dinner that night, Ben tapped Monica's shoulder. "Auntie Monica, did Dad tell you something last week when you went to visit him that you've been keeping a secret from me?" Monica was surprised. "Did Emma text you?" Ben nodded. Monica stood up from her seat. "Let's go into the kitchen, sweetheart. We should talk about this in private." "Okay, Auntie Monica." "Have a seat, Ben," Monica whispered as she patted his seat from her at the kitchen table. Ben did as he was instructed. Monica reached across the table and took his nephew's hand in hers gently. Tears were forming at the corners of her eyes. "What's the matter, Auntie Monica? Why are you crying?" "Would you like to permanently be our son, Ben?" Ben's jaw dropped. "What are you talking about?" "Your father asked me if Uncle Chandler and I wanted to adopt you when Emma and I went to talk to him after we got back from Paris." "How do you feel about that, honey?" Ben's eyes misted over. "I've always felt at home here, Auntie Monica. I was wondering if you and Uncle Chandler were ever going to ask me about this, and what's your answer?" A smile spread across Ben's face. "Absolutely, my answer is yes." Monica squeezed her nephew's hand gently. "You are so special to your uncle and I, and you always will be. Are you getting excited for the wedding?" Monica nodded. I couldn't be happier for you and Trevor, sweetheart. I meant to tell you, we have a family reunion to go to when we go to Ohio to adopt the babies, and so be sure you pack a suitcase for a longer stay. What do you mean, Auntie Monica? Monica smiled. Jack and Erica's birth mother called me today. She is the aunt of the woman you and Trevor are adopting from. We are spending Thanksgiving with them. Ben's jaw dropped. Do Jack and Erica even know that they are adopted? Monica shook her head. Not yet, but they will know pretty soon. Ben and Monica stood up and embraced. I love you so much, Auntie Monica, he whispered. Monica rubbed her nephew's back gently and kissed his forehead. I love you more than you will ever know, my precious baby boy, and I will always love you no matter what. As they were getting ready for bed that night, there was a knock at Monica and Chandler's bedroom door. It was Jack and Erica. Hey, Mom and Dad. Ben told us you wanted to talk to us about something, Jack said. Chandler nodded. Have a seat, kids. Are we in trouble? Erica whispered. Monica squeezed her daughter's hand. Of course not, honey. This is actually about how Ben and Trevor are adopting babies from Ohio. Jack looked at his parents. What does this have to do with us, Mom? We are so confused. Chandler had tears in his eyes. Your mother and I were unable to conceive a child naturally. 19 years ago, we adopted two beautiful babies from a mother in Ohio. Her name was Erica. Wait, is that who I am named after, Daddy? Erica asked. Chandler squeezed his daughter's hand gently. Yes, it is, honey. Well, a question that I've had for a long time is finally answered. A smile spread across Erica's face. So, are you saying we are adopted? Jack asked. Monica's eyes filled with tears. Yes. How do you two feel about meeting your birth mother this Thanksgiving and getting to know her a little better? Jack and Erica looked at each other and were quiet for 10 minutes. Erica had tears in her eyes. We definitely want to meet her, Mom. When are we going to Ohio? Monica pulled her daughter into a tight hug. We are going out there in November for a family reunion when Ben and Trevor go to adopt their babies. Babies? Jack asked. We are pretty sure that they are having twins. Chandler asked. Are you planning to get joint custody with Erica, Mom? Monica's jaw dropped. That's something we can certainly discuss with her if that's something the two of you want to do. Erica nodded. I think it is. I think we should get to know our other family better as we become adults, especially since we just found out about Erica today. I love you so much, sweetheart. We're so proud of you for taking this news so well. Chandler brushed Erica's bangs out of her eyes and kissed her forehead gently. I love you too, Daddy. I will always love you no matter what, Erica whispered. Ben and Trevor's commitment ceremony went off without a hitch at Montauk Beach, which had been a popular vacation spot for the families to vacation for many years. Jack and Erica sat at a table with their cousins at the reception. Wasn't that a beautiful ceremony? Emma asked, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. Jack squeezed his cousin's hand gently under the table. It sure was. I never realized that Uncle Joey was a justice of the peace. Erica stared at her brother. Don't you remember? Mom and Dad told us that he officiated their wedding too. He did the same thing for Aunt Phoebe and Uncle Mike. Jack shrugged. Sorry, it's been a few years. I guess that might have I guess that must have slipped my mind. Little known facts, Ivy teased her cousin. I couldn't be happier for Ben and Trevor, Phoebe's daughter Kerri said. Erica squeezed her cousin's hand gently. We're all really happy for them, honey. Didn't your mom tell my mom that you guys are going to Ohio for some sort of family reunion? Emma stared at her cousin Erica in curiosity. Erica nodded. Mom and Dad told us a few weeks ago that we are meeting our birth mother Erica at Thanksgiving. We are a little bit nervous, but mostly excited. I still don't get how that's related to Ben and Trevor adopting babies, Ivy said. Jack swallowed a bite of his salad. Our birth mother's niece Astrid is the mother of Ben and Trevor's babies. We're excited to meet her and Erica, too. Weird subject change. that I apologize for, but do you guys ever wonder what happened to our friend Josh who had substance use disorder? Emma asked. All eyes turned toward Jack. How would I know anything about that? You guys know I haven't been friends with him for years, Jack asked. Jack said. Ivy cleared her throat uncomfortably. I actually know something about Josh, Jack, and I didn't know how to tell you about it. Emma's jaw dropped. How did you hear anything about Josh, Ivy? You guys remember Eric, my old chemistry lab partner, right? Erica rolled her eyes. He was your chemistry lab partner in 7th grade, Ivy, but yes, of course we remember him. I was pretty sure that he wasn't friends with Josh anymore either. He was for a few years, but unfortunately Josh got him back into drugs. You dodged a bullet by ending your friendship with him, Jack, his sister muttered. Shut up and let Ivy talk. What? It's the truth. Don't talk to me like that. You would have been dead too if Mom and Dad did not intervene, Erica said. Ivy cleared her throat. Josh had a really bad relapse about 2 years ago. He went to the hospital to have his stomach pumped and requested to be taken off life support. Emma's heart broke. Damn it, I was really hoping that he'd overcome this. Ivy rubbed Emma's back. So did I, Em. At that moment, Jack realized that his sister was absolutely right and let out a sigh. You know what, you guys? His cousins and sister redirected their gazes toward him. What is it, Jack? Emma said. Looking back on the whole experience of what happened with Josh, I'm actually really grateful for it. Erica's jaw dropped. What do you mean? Jack squeezed his sister's hand gently. You're right, Erica. I dodged a bullet by ending my friendship with Josh. I'm so happy that Mom and Dad helped me through that tough time. Emma looked at her cousin with tears in her eyes. If Uncle Chandler and Auntie Monica did not help you with your drug addiction problem, you probably would not be here today celebrating Ben's marriage, Jack. Our lives would definitely be so much different without you in it. We love you so much, Ivy whispered. I couldn't be more grateful for you guys. You mean so much to me, Jack whispered. He stood up from his chair and walked over to Emma and wrapped his arms around her, especially you. I love you and Ben so much for always looking out for me, Em. Emma stood up, pulled her cousin into a strong hug, and kissed her forehead. Love you to pieces, Jack. Always. Mom and I will always be here for you no matter what, all right? I know, Jack whispered. So, thank you everybody for following along with me as I have shared all of my friends' fan fiction for the past 4 months, and I am stepping away from writing fan fiction for a while to work on other projects, including my children's book manuscript and several other things, including poetry. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.